magic moment, so different and so new, was like any other, until I kiss you, and then it happened. It took me by surprise. I knew that you felt it too, by the look in your eye, sweeter than wine, softer than the summer night.
Welcome to Love 101 Media, everyone. This is Najieb, and we are here to have open conversations about love and healthy relationships. We are currently in our Communication is Not a Game series. I'm joined by Xerlina and Smooth Jazz over here. Welcome. And also Xerlina, who will more than likely be coming back when her connection is not a call for love. So let's jump right into the reading. We're going to do 2 pages each when we read. Heftier chapters here. So, Smooth Jazz, are you willing to read?
Yes. Chapter 2, Setting the Goal. What is your purpose in life? In the manual, Love is Not a Game, a manual for loving relationships, you are asked to set the goal with your partner by asking these questions. What is the purpose of our relationship? What is our relationship for? What do we want to come of our relationship? In this manual, you are being asked to set the goal again. There is one slight change though. What is that? You are not only going to set the goal with your partner this time, you are going to set the goal with yourself. The question.
CalySol, welcome.
Hey, y'all.
Hi.
We just started, so you're right on time.
Yay!
Okay.
The question of all questions. Here is perhaps the most important question you could ever ask or be asked. Ready for it? Here it is. What is your purpose in life? Have you ever been asked that question? Have you ever asked yourself that question?
That's the question. So, have you, Smooth Jazz, been asked? Or asked yourself?
I find I ask myself more than anyone asks me.
Okay. Xerlina, have you been asked that or asked yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
And
I do.
And CalySol, have you been asked or asked yourself that question? What is my purpose in life?
Yes.
Okay. Me too. All right. Continuing.
What is your purpose in life? Here are some other forms of the same question. What is your life dedicated to? What do you want to come from your life? What is the reason you are alive? Before you read the next section, please consider answering the question. What is your purpose in life? You may choose to write down your answer. You may choose to simply think about the answer to yourself. You may choose to not answer the question. Whatever you decide to do, please take a moment to think about the question. It is the basis of everything. When you are ready, please continue.
Okay, so let's pontificate here. Let's think. So anyone want to share? You don't have to, but if anything, think about the question, what is your purpose in life? And if you want to share, then please do. I'll share. My purpose is to be a vehicle. Welcome, Blue. Welcome. We are asking ourselves the question, what is my purpose in life? That's what we're thinking about right now before we continue reading. And so I was sharing that my ultimate purpose in life is to master and then express love. And yeah, very much. That's it. To give and receive love And to do that, I have to know what the hell it is and how to do it. So that's why the mastery comes in first. Celia, welcome.
Oh, hello, Naeem. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Yes, it is myself, Trisana, Smooth Jazz, CalySol, Blue Sky at the moment.
Cool.
We were just asking ourselves this question. We just started reading. What is your purpose in life? So we were thinking about that, and anyone who was caring to share was sharing. And another way of asking that question is, what is your life dedicated to? What do you want to come from your life? What is the reason why you are alive? And that's what we were thinking about. So has everyone at least thought about it a little bit?
My purpose is to vibrate at the frequency of love in every situation that I bring to me.
Amen. Including that food. What is that?
I got some cave-aged Gruyere on a herb cracker with some pear jalapeno jam.
I don't even know what the first part of that is, but since you made it, I want some.
Cave-aged Gruyere is like, it's cheese. It's delicious cheese. You have to be a cheese liker.
Well, thank you for vibrating love into every situation you find yourself. As I was sharing, my purpose is to master and express love and to give and receive love. Mastery comes first because how can you give and receive something you can't even identify correctly half the time, right? It's like saying, I'm going to welcome my brother into my home every chance I have, but then half the time you don't recognize your brother. When they put on a hat, I don't recognize you. You can't come in. You're a stranger. Then they take off that, oh yeah, Enoch, come in, right? You got to be able to recognize love in all of its different expressions. And to recognize it in its expressions means to recognize it in the way it thinks, not the way it acts, but the way it thinks, because love is a mindset. We are trying to find out how love thinks about communication. That's the whole point of this manual. And the one before this was how love thinks about trust. And then the first one, love is not a game, how love thinks, period. And now, if we know how it thinks, then we would think with that, and then we would develop the habits and the skills that will help us express that in every situation. Then we go out and actually do it. Got to start with yourself first. That's why we're setting the goal with ourselves first. And so it starts with that question, what's your purpose in life? So before we continue with Smooth Jazz finishing this page, would you like to, anyone else want to share anything about that?
I'll share something. I mean, it's still another expression of love. And I realize, I guess I've become more aware of how important peace is to me and to everybody around me. So I would say my purpose now is an ongoing commitment to encouraging peace within myself, exactly as I am, and peace with everyone around me exactly as they are.
Amen. Thank you for being dedicated to that and being able to articulate it. You know, it's not necessary to be able to articulate it, but to at least be able to feel it in your own being is what's important. So nobody has to, you don't have to be able to articulate your purpose. You know, I remember a good quote was like, the purpose of life is a life of purpose, right? But then to go a little deeper, what purpose though? Because we got two types of content or thought systems we can be dedicated to, which are what?
Love or fear.
Exactly. That's the only two. So with that said, which purpose are you dedicated to? And Jasana, are you in a position to read?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we will continue. And CalySol, I will wait until I see you finish eating that delicious love vibration meal before I ask you if you're ready to read. So, or you can just let us know when you're ready. So I was just asking you to be ready, Drasana. Can you please finish this page, Smooth Jazz?
The answer. Two answers. As with everything, every topic is two topics. Why is it two topics? It is two topics because the program has an answer and love has an answer. There is the way the program sees it, and there is the way love sees it. Whatever your answer may have been, the program has an answer for you, and love has an answer for you. Since love is what you are, let's start with love's answer. What is love's purpose for your life? Love's purpose is for you and for everyone, for you to be happy and totally fulfilled.
Thank you, Jazz. Are you ready to continue, Jasana?
Yes. All right. Happiness is love, and love is total fulfillment. Therefore, happiness is total fulfillment. Your purpose in life is to be happy and totally fulfilled, period. In other words, your purpose is to be free, at peace, appreciated, healed, joyous, at play, innocent, creative, totally fulfilled.
Can you read that again, please? Because I want to hear that again for myself.
Okay. In other words, your purpose is to be free, at peace, appreciated, healed, joyous, at play, innocent, creative, totally fulfilled.
Does anyone else like the sound of that? Or are there objections?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. CalySol, I see your dance. So you look like you're at play, which means you look totally fulfilled, which means great. All right. Thank you. Thank you for repeating it, Jasana. That's important.
No problem. Reminder, if you didn't already know, your purpose in life is to be happy. What is the program's purpose for your life? The program's purpose for you and for everyone is to be separate from love, period. In other words, to forget love. When you forget love, you will experience misery, sadness, unworthiness, fear, anxiety, guilt, depression, indecisiveness, and emotional pain. This is not your purpose in life. This is not the reason you were born. When you experience these things, you are forgetting your purpose and you are forgetting love. Your purpose is to be happy. To be happy is to be totally fulfilled. It is your purpose to have a totally fulfilled life, form and content of your purpose. Every topic is two topics. Why? Because love has answer and the program has an answer. It's important to realize that every topic is also two topics because of form and content. We have just covered the content. We've expressed the content that love wants for your life, happiness. And we have expressed the content that the program, fear, wants for your life, pain and misery. Yeah. Now let's form. Love's purpose is your happiness. What form should your happiness take? The program's purpose is your misery and pain. What form does the program want the pain to take? For love, your happiness and total fulfillment can take absolutely any form. Why? Because love knows that form is meaningless. It is the purpose you use the form for that gives it meaning to you. Truth principle, purpose determines meaning. The content of love is happiness.
All right, Celia, are you ready to continue?
Yes, I can.
Thank you, Jasana.
No problem.
Okay, so continuing. Happiness is total fulfillment. You are love. Therefore, your purpose is to have total fulfillment with everything and everyone in your life. If you ask the program, it has this backwards. The program will tell you that you need to focus on the form in order to achieve the content of happiness.
Yeah.
For example, thank you for the program voice. For example, you need to have a certain amount of money to be happy. You need a certain kind of relationship to be happy. You need a certain career to be happy. You need to have certain experiences by certain times in your life to be happy. Yeah. None of this is true. Why? Because all of those programmed answers are based on the level of form. And no form will ever have the power to produce content of any kind. Truth principle. Form cannot produce content, period. Whenever you place your happiness or content on something or someone outside of you, form, you are following the insidious indoctrination of the program, and you will hurt yourself. Guess who is always focused on form? The program. Fear. Using the example of money. No amount of money can make you happy, yet you can be happy with any amount of money. Money does not cause happiness. There is no cause and effect relationship between happiness and money. This is what's called a spurious correlation.
Just gotta have enough of it though, then you know.
Oh gosh, okay, program. We will discuss the spurious correlation in another chapter. Back to your purpose in life. Your ultimate purpose is to be happy, which is to remember love. A happy life is a totally fulfilled life. A happy relationship is a totally fulfilled relationship. On the level of form, everyone can have different plans for their life. Those plans don't mean anything. Plans are form. Plans do not give your life meaning. Purpose gives your life meaning. And on the level of content, meaning love, everyone's purpose is the same. Your purpose or happiness will take a different form from a moment-to-moment basis, which is why the form is not important. Forms change. Your purpose does not change. Knowing this is very helpful. Why is this very helpful? Because when anything unsettling occurs in your life or relationship, you can always bring it back to this question: what is my purpose in life? When you use love's answer to this question, asking this question will help release you from the program's problematic perception very quickly.
Thank you, Celia. I will continue. What is the program's perception of anything and anyone, meaning everything and everyone? Judgment. The program sees everything on the level of form through the eyes of judgment. That includes you, all of us, everyone you know, and everything. Everything gets judged. Remember, the program does not think in terms of content. The program thinks in terms of form. The program thinks form is meaningful, and that form, therefore, causes content. The program asks only these questions of everything on a level of form. Does it meet my approval or not? Is it good or bad? Because mine is the best, yours is not. Is it right or wrong? Because I'm right, you're wrong. Does this call for attack or defense? And you all know where attack and defense is played. The program's response is based on how it feels in that moment. It has no grounds, no purpose to ground it. Therefore, the program's perception is as wavering as the wind, and more so. What about love? Love does not judge. Love evaluates everything from its purpose, which is happiness and total fulfillment, and love is grounded in that purpose and that content. Love sees everything in this way. Is my way of seeing this television show helpful or unhelpful to my purpose in life? Meaning my happiness. If I'm happy and enjoying this television show, then yeah, I'm on purpose. If I'm just being brain dead and having noise in the background and trying not to think about my insecurities and problems and program voice in my head and have the TV on, then no, it's not. It's my way of seeing this relationship supportive of my purpose or unsupportive of my purpose, meaning my happiness. It's my way of seeing this phone call serving my happiness or not. If the answer is yes, you are using that form in the service of love, which is happiness. If the answer is no, you are not using that form in the service of love. You are using it in the service of fear, which is the program. And you need to stop. Just stop. Let's take a look at the following clarity chart. So what's the purpose of this chart? The purpose of this clarity chart is to give you a snapshot of how love and the program see and respond to everything on a level of form. Also, this chart will offer you some examples on how these two thought systems operate when your purpose and feelings come into question. So we'll read this I'll read the so on the side of the form, we have all these things which are forms. So it's all money, relationships, words, feelings, actions, beliefs, people, bodies, places, interactions, time, experiences. So Jazz, if you could read the smooth jazz, if you could read the right side of the chart, I'll read the program side. And whenever there's a blank, just pick anything from the right side of the chart and throw it in there, or anything you can come up with. Ready?
Okay.
Let's begin. So the program says, this money means something. How should I judge it? Or this lack of money means something. Oh my God, it's a government stimulus check at, man. Is it good or bad? How should I feel about it? If I like how I feel about the money, it's good. If I don't like how I feel about the money, it's bad. It's the root of all evil, Jazz. What you got to say about that?
This relationship means nothing. There is nothing to judge. What is my purpose? Is my way of seeing this relationship helpful or unhelpful to my purpose in life?
Listen, okay? This body right here means something, okay? Is it right or wrong to have all that booty? I don't know. If I like how I feel about it, it's okay, it's good. If I don't like how I feel about it, she gets some implants. What you got to say about that, Jazz?
Lots of booty is always right.
Thank you, Celia. That's what I'm talking about. Got people on my team now. What you got to say, though?
This feeling means nothing. What is my purpose? Is my way of seeing this feeling supportive of my purpose or unsupportive of my purpose?
Listen, is this time we spend together? This time means something. Should I leave it alone, let it be, or should I attack it? You should spend more time with me, Smooth Jazz. All right? You should have played our song. If I like the way I feel about it, I'll leave it alone. If I don't like the way I feel, I'm going to attack you through the phone. So what you got to say about that, Jazz?
This experience means nothing. What is my purpose? Is my way of seeing this experience of playing our song serving my happiness or not?
Trying to sound all smooth. Well, let me tell you about this, though. Does this conversation we having, it mean something? Should I just let it be or defend myself against it and against what you're saying? Because what you're saying sounds contradictory to what I'm saying. So if I like the way I feel about what you're saying, I'll leave it alone. If I don't like the way I feel, put up my defenses. You need to change what you're saying so I can feel better, because you're making me feel insecure and unwanted, Jazz. So what you got to say about that?
This interaction means nothing. What is my purpose? Is my way of seeing this interaction of you getting defensive for no reason bringing
I got
me
reasons.
or not?
I'll tell you my reasons, but my time to read is over. So next time it comes my time, I'm telling you all of it. All right? So welcome, Nas. Are we dealing with Nas Ram or Nas Lal? Who is it today? So I know how to talk.
Hi guys.
Hey,
I don't
nah.
know. I'll see. I'll see where it goes.
This
Right
sounds like
now,
the Nas Ram is coming up. This is good.
it's
Okay. I was just waiting.
yeah, it slowly comes out.
Yes, we always have to give her time to warm up. Like you make the water, you bring it to the boil in the pot. If you are a woman, because of course a man should not be in the kitchen, but you know what I mean. So, um, Jazz, are you ready to? Can you continue this page?
Certainly. It takes two. Choosing to partner. We have discussed setting the goal or purpose with yourself in this chapter. Let's also remember the purpose of this manual is communication, and you cannot experience communication or love alone. With that said, it is now time to extend your purpose in life, your happiness, into your relationship. Just as you learned how to set the goal together in Chapter 2 of Love is Not a Game, you are going to set the goal again right now. For clarity, We have two questions to explore first. What does setting the goal in a relationship with your partner?
That should be, what does it mean?
What does it
Okay.
mean to set the goal in a relationship with your partner? Let's clearly define the term we are using again. Let's clearly define the terms we are using again. We have two terms to define right now. One is setting the goal, and two is partner. Definition time. Setting the goal, deciding the purpose. Former content, F.A.C.T.S. Does the term setting the goal refer to form or content? Well, you gave us a sneak peek. So it is content.
Thank you.
The term setting the goal is content-based. What kind of content is setting the goal about? Setting the goal is always about the content of love. Forgetting to set the goal in a relationship results in fear. What does it mean to set the goal in a relationship? Setting the goal means deciding the purpose of the relationship together. Those who partner in the relationship set the goal together. Setting the goal is a shared initiative to mutually decide on the content of the relationship. The joint unified decision is always for the content of love to ground and guide the relationship.
You can finish that chart out.
When the partners have set the goal or purpose of the relationship, they now have what is called a common goal or common purpose. Establishing a common purpose is one of the two key requirements for a healthy relationship. The other key requirement is to establish a common curriculum. Setting the goal can be achieved through having a short, simple, and sincere conversation.
Thank you, Smooth Jazz. So, CalySol, are you ready to read yet? Welcome back. We got rough jazz this time. Uh-oh. Taking the gloves off for the program. Gloves are off. Okay. I think we're all back. CalySol, whenever you're ready, we are here.
Now, let's define partner again. This time we will go more in depth. Definition time. Partners, 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 partnering, partnership. Content. So is it form or content? Does the word partner refer to form or content? I would have thought that it was form, but you're saying it's content?
And that's why we have the definition chart, because it's content based, meaning when you form a partnership based on those two criteria, it's based on content, even though whatever relationship you have will be a form. And this is one of the ways I want to challenge the use of that word, or at least open another way of looking at it, because usually people use the word partner and they either think, business partners or romance. Like, it's pretty much it, like, when it comes to that. And that's pretty much what it comes down to. And I'm like, partner means essentially that you're on the same team. And you can be romantic or in business and be on the same team. But you can also be siblings and be on the same team. It doesn't have to be limited to that. But the way we've all been taught, when you hear partner, oh yeah, this is my partner. It's like, oh, so is it, what's the deal? We're trying to figure out the sexual implications or whatnot, the romantic implications of that situation. And just want to get encourage our minds to look a little deeper than that. So that's the reason why it's a content-based designation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Partner is a content-based designation. Partner refers to the content of love. Partner is a function, purpose. Partner is a title for a person who has accepted the function or purpose of loving another.
Right. So pause right there. See, so if you accepted the title of doctor, which of course you have to train for, right? Then your function or purpose in that person's life that comes to you is to heal. That's what it's supposed to be with the, Hippocratic oath and all that. So it's not just being whoever you say you are, CalySol or Rough Jazz or Drasana. It's like your personal self-concept. It's like, I am a doctor. I am a healer to my community. So it doesn't matter what person comes to me. That's the function that I'm going to fulfill with them. So as a partner to someone, based on the definition we're using in this manual, you are accepting and committing to the function of loving them. And love, once again, is happiness and total fulfillment. Love, once again, if anybody remembers the F.A.C.T.S, what are those? F.A.C.T.S, what is that?
Freedom,
Freedom, appreciation,
communication,
communication,
trust,
trust,
sincerity.
sincerity. So pretty much any of us could do that stuff, right? When we feel like it. So that's what it means to be a partner as far as this language and this curriculum goes. So hope that's more clear. Please
Yeah.
continue.
What does partner mean? In this curriculum, to partner with means to join with. A partner is someone you join only in love with. For example, saying I partner with you means I join in love with you. A partner is someone whom you have established a common purpose or goal and a common curriculum. The program does not establish relationships to partner or join in love.
Thank you for reading that correctly, even though it wasn't there. You on point. That meal you had was solid. All right.
The program does not want partners. The program wants accomplices and co-conspirators.
It's true.
What form can a partner take? A partner can take any form: family member, friend, child, etc. It is either their purpose in your life that makes them your partner, not the form they appear to take. The purpose in your life is to remember love with you. Remember love with you. That sounds odd. The purpose in your life is to remember love with you.
Read it one more time.
Their purpose in your life is to remember love with you.
There we go. Not trying to let the program blind you to the truth.
Man, having a moment. That doesn't sound right.
You're right.
What form can a relationship with a partner take? Glad you asked. A relationship with a partner can take any form: friendship, romantic, intimate or sexual relationship, platonic relationship, colleague, marriage, etc. It is the purpose of your relationship with your partner that matters. The form your relationship takes at any given time is immaterial or not important. A relationship with purpose and with a partner is called a partnership.
Can you say that one more time?
A relationship with purpose and with a partner is called a partnership.
Thank you.
What is a partnership? A partnership is a relationship based entirely on love. A partnership is a purposeful or loving relationship. Love is the basis or purpose for the partnership or a purposeful relationship. A relationship with a partner is a content-based relationship. The form of the person or people is irrelevant. A relationship with a partner should be seen as a relationship with love. And a relationship with love in the form of the person or people who you are in partnerships with. Clear?
Okay, so before we continue, is that clear? Anyone have any questions?
Yep. Put it back up while we're talking.
Okay. Because you asked me, you offered me some of that food. So yes, this part.
Yeah, for right now. Yes, this is clear.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyone else want to share anything about that? I do.
Well, that's, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Celia.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, I agree with CalySol. It's clear. I think it is helpful to reframe what a partner or partnership means. I think oftentimes, like you said, a partner is either like, are you exchanging or building money together, or our bodies touching, right? It's like one of those two, or maybe both, right? So it's good to think about it as a partnership, as a joining in love. And you could do that with everyone. And hopefully, we do. So I like the reframing of that, because I think it has been sort of, partner has been used for a specific purpose, or we have been conditioned or programmed to think about partners and partnerships in very specific ways. So I like the way that you're broadening that, but then also honing in on what the common purpose is and the common goal is, which is love.
Yes. You just gave me an idea. I think this would be a good point to, when I go back into the book to edit, to add a conversation piece about it. Meaning, yeah, we went over partnership, went over it in the preface, which was not so long ago, but we still need to talk about it with whoever we're reading the manual with. So what do you think partner is? Oh, I said ask. Yeah, ask to add question.
That's a good addition. Just as we have different ideas about love, what love is, right? Or what trust is.
Yes. So that's gonna be that's gonna open up the mind a little more, because instead of just saying, well, this is what it is, first examine your own thoughts about what you think it is. I'm saying, for the sake of another programmed individual like I am, I know what I've been programmed to think partner is I've been programmed to think that it's either, again, money or body parts touching person. We're saying that partner is not even necessarily, it has nothing to do with the form of what you do with the person. It has to do with your purpose. So you can't have a partner in this language, in this curriculum, unless you have a purpose. So even if you've known them for a long time, or you've been making money together, or you've been having sex together, or whatever, or you've been romantical, but you haven't, really decided what your purpose is, you can't, according to this curriculum, call yourself partners. Because until you set that goal and have that conversation, it's not set. It may be implied, but it's not set, and that's the point. It's kind of like we're both in a car and we both know we're driving to a destination north, let's say Toronto, if they let our ass over the border, but we never we just have we both in mind, like Toronto, like north, but we didn't put that in the GPS. We just drive it, And although we're going in the right direction, there's a lot of roads that go north, and a lot of them also miss Toronto. Okay. So until you have the coordinates of where you both want to go together at the same time, then you are just easing on down the road. And it won't be easy for long, because the program will jump up in there and blow out your tires. So with that said, yes. Nas, oh wait, CalySol, you have the rest of this page to continue, and then Nas, if you're willing to continue.
Clear? Now you know exactly what we're talking about when we say setting the goal and when we say partner. Moving forward, let's briefly review how to set the goal in a relationship with your partner. Why? So you can have this experience with your partner now. Setting the goal is as simple as having a chat, conversation on a common goal, an overdue conversation. Establishing a common goal or purpose for your relationship is crucial and of the highest importance. Establishing a common goal for your relationship also very simple and easy to do. How do you set the goal with your partner?
Oh, thank you very much, my dear. We should have some tea and crumpets over this chat. Quite well. So, uh, Naz, are you ready? Excuse me. Are you ready to continue the read?
I'm ready.
This is Naz Ram, everybody. I've not tried to keep it on the low. I've tried to keep my composure, but everybody understand that Naz Ram has arrived. Okay, I'm going to go on. Only for a little while because I cannot contain. Even my excitement is so strong that even the mute button will break because of the excitement that is coming. But anyway, Ya Allah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Have a conversation. Conversation time. Topic, setting the goal. Ask your partner any or all of the following questions. It's just funny because I feel like half of us would want this, and then your partner is going to be like, no. All right.
That
Setting
is
the
because they are the haram, and you should understand that it does not matter. You have to
like,
be
do
with people.
people really have these conversations in real life?
We are
Yeah.
the people, and we are the real life. Yes, this will be happening right now.
Okay.
And you're right, Naz. But people say to me, you're kidding, right? And other people are willing. It all gets back to willingness.
Exactly. Especially those who want to work on their relationships and, better communication, trust, and all that is great and all. But saying, hey, love, let's have a seat. Let's talk. What is the purpose of our relationship? Like, especially men, like, they don't know. They're just not. Okay. Yeah, Naeem isn't here because he knows I'm right. So I scared him. This is what men do. They just get up and go. Yeah, there you go.
Hamid is here. He is here to tell you that no, the man does not want to talk to you about these things. But you still will tell them, oh, when you feel the haram coming, then you say, oh, what do I mean to you? What is this? Who am I to you? Oh no. And then this is the other way that we have the conversation in the haram. But when we have it the halal, then we can be like a decent people of the civilization with the
Okay.
covering the hair. But I see how you're sticking out.
Most guys will be like, I don't have time for this. Or let's talk about this later. I'm just saying. Anyway, okay. Back to the conversation.
Okay, so before we even have this conversation, can we all agree that we all here, all of us here, meaning Blue Sky, myself, Rough Jazz, Celia, Trisana, Nas, Ram and Nas Lau, and CalySol, that we are partners in this purpose and curriculum?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so great. That means that it's about all of us, not about one of us, and therefore the conversation is for all of us. So what do each of us want? Bring this thing back on the screen. What do each of us want the purpose to be for? What is it for, etc. So you can read those questions one time, Nas, and we just look at it together and then have a conversation about this, because this is the point. This is conversation time after all. So yeah.
Okay. What is the purpose of our relationship? What is our relationship for? Why are we in this relationship with each other? What do we want to come from joining in this relationship? What is our relationship dedicated to? All of these questions have the same meaning. All of these questions are different ways of asking the first question. What is the purpose of our relationship?
All right, so right there, everybody. So what is the purpose of our relationship? I will start and just say healing. I'm gonna throw healing in there. Anyone agree?
Yes.
All right, so I got healing. I'm writing it in the chat. Anyone can speak out loud or write your answers in the chat.
We're here to remind each other of the truth, remind each other of love in every.
Thank you, CalySol.
Write it. I don't have time to write with my hands or too busy.
I have already written it. Just look. Right there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nas says learning, growing. Anyone else? And if anyone does not join in that, then say so as well. So if someone says our purpose is to, exchange recipes, and you don't want to exchange your recipe, then say that, because exchanging recipes is not a purpose. That's a plan. But anyway, anyone else?
Said that you're making me think of sweet potato pie for some reason when you said recipes.
Let me have some.
I need some too, brother.
Would we include deprogramming in there?
Say.
Ask the group. I
Would
say
we?
yes.
Yes.
I think that's part of it.
Then it is part of it now. Rocky Jazz. It's just getting rougher and rougher over there. Okay, so anything you want to share about our purpose? Oh, okay. I am.
Isn't that Nat King Cole song?
Right,
Is
I
it?
had a 15-second call for love with my internet. So, whoa. All right.
No, what is happening?
Isn't that a Nat King Cole song?
I am going to look that up. I did not know that.
The greatest
What?
gift in this world is to be loved and loved in return.
Ah.
Can someone fill me in on the last 30 seconds? Because I was having a call.
Nope. Sorry.
Not
You
too
just
big.
missed
Not too big.
the best part of the entire conversation. Happened in the last 10 seconds and you missed out. Sorry.
Perfect for yourself.
This is the mutiny of the Alhamdulillah.
And she's here.
Yes. See, I told you Nazram was coming. She's made it. All right. So, did you say anything, Jazz? Because I missed it if you did.
No.
Okay.
Drisana said, I said to learn to love and be loved, or just period, love and be loved. And Drisana said, that's a Nat King Cole song. So I just said, I have to look that up.
Okay. Nice.
Was it?
And give love in return. That's
Exactly. That's the one.
I don't
So
know
let's
that
get it
song.
over. Yep.
Well, thank you.
That's the one.
Well, that was very lovely, your rendition of it. So I will look it up. It might not be as lovely as that. And I love Nat King Cole, and still.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, smooth, rough jazz, all jazz.
Okay. Shall we continue? Are we together in this purpose?
Yes.
Yes.
So learning, growing, healing, and my chat box is gone, but I'm saying what I heard people say. Remembering the truth together, love, deprogramming. So this is what we are in agreement on, right? Correct?
Yes.
All right, sounds good. So will you continue, Nazram?
Yes. Before you had this conversation, remember this foundational key principle. The purpose is about the content of love. The purpose is not about form of any kind. Setting the goal principle. The purpose, goal of your relationship is always about the content of love. The goal, purpose of your relationship is never about the form of your relationship. In other words, purpose equals goal. Goal equals content. The goal is always content. The goal is always the content of love, and therefore the purpose is always love. The purpose of your relationship is always to express, offer, and receive the content of love. What is the content of love? The content of love is happiness, communication, respect, peace, joining, trust, grace, fun and play, total fulfillment. Therefore, the purpose of your partnership can be as simple as this statement. The purpose of our relationship is to be happy together. And that's it. You're done. You have set the goal. What is setting the goal not? As we've said, setting the goal for your relationship is deciding for the content of love in your relationship. This conversation should only be about content. This conversation should not be about form. Example of what not to talk about. A non-purpose, meaningless statement or conversation. We should set the goal to talk or at least text each other every day. I think we should always stay in touch with each other. I feel like we should always be available to each other and make each other a priority. Therefore, if you need me for something, I should stop everything I'm doing and attend to you. Yes, you should. If we want trust, if we want trust in our relationship, I think we should be transparent with each other. We should voluntarily exchange passwords, oh God, and check each other's phones.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
this is what we should do.
We have so much trust in our relationship that I need his password. Yes. You are doing too much. Stop. Just stop. Again, the purpose of your relationship has absolutely nothing to do with what you choose to do and say, on the level of form.
Thank you, Nazram. And Trisana, will you continue?
Hi. Okay, hold on a second. What am I reading next?
If you want to.
Okay, 1 second. I'm getting some headphones. Thank you. Okay, I don't know if they can hear me with this. Wait, did I miss it? Oh, left, right, got it. Okay, 1 second. Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Yes, no?
Yes, we hear you.
I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah.
We can't hear you now. I see your lips moving, but we can't hear you. Can you hear us? Can you give us a thumbs up if you can hear us? All right. Okay, you hear us. We don't hear you now. Okay. If those headphones just try to block your communication.
Hello. Now?
Now we hear you.
I figured as much. My phone is retarded. Oh, am I reading?
Yes, if you want to.
I will. Put this back. All right. The purpose, love, has everything to do with your state of mind while you're doing or saying anything. Let's see. Are you doing it from a state of love, freedom, or are you doing it from a state of fear, obligation, and expectation? This is a pivotal, momentous moment in your relationship. Now that you know how to have the necessary and overdue conversation, have it now. Choosing a common curriculum is a
Pause
dedicated.
1 moment, please.
Yes.
My question to everyone is, was that conversation, was it easy to have or was it burdensome and hard to have?
With who?
With each other, with us. We just had it.
It was easy.
Okay. So
I have a yes but though.
okay, well, could you turn around and show us this yes but?
Hold on.
All right.
And I know that the remedy is to remember that sane people have the same parts as insane people. So we're meeting together and we're sane. This portion always has given me triggers, though. I experienced triggers with setting the goal because it seems very simple, and it is simple to do. But when you're dealing with people that don't know the curriculum, which often sometimes we choose to deal with people that don't know the curriculum of love, and then it makes it hard to set the goal because of misunderstanding, just simple misunderstanding. That's all I
Like
have to say.
like miscommunication, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. And my message to myself, so to everyone else, is I know 100% sure what's going to happen if we don't. And I also know if we don't try to set the goal. And I also know pretty much 100% sure that the conversation is not going to be brought up from the other person to me in a time of peace and tranquility. Therefore, two things happen. One is I have to decide, do I want happiness and total fulfillment in my life for myself? And if the answer is yes, then I have to, number one, make the initiative to have that conversation, to open that conversation. And then number two, be okay either way with what happens. Because at least, again, we're talking about love in a very scientific and mathematical way. So it means that if you don't do this, there is a 100% chance that your relationship is going to crash and burn, especially a romantic one. So if you do this and even if they're with it, there's still a chance, but it's less of a chance than if you don't. And so we know it's going to happen when we don't. And we know it's been happening for the X amount of years past in our lives. So now, are we ready to be a little bit uncomfortable for the purpose of a greater level of, let's say, comfort and peace of mind, right? And so, yeah, if I know that I'm going to be uncomfortable to have this conversation, but at least two things are going to happen. I'm going to find out this person is totally insane and totally unwilling to join me on the common curriculum and purpose, and that means I should cut it off right then and there. That saves me time. Or number two, they're like, wow, this is a great conversation. I'm with this. I do want to think more about this. I do want to revisit this in the future. Then I'm like, wow, someone who's like-minded, or at least who wants to learn and grow with me. And either way, you win. And the more you do it, the more you overcome the fear of doing it. That's why you do it here and now, where it's with people who are not going to attack and judge, and where it's easy. So you know that it's possible. And then when we go into the lab, as teacher Earl Purdy would say, into the world and start doing it with other people, then, we'll see, we'll already have had some training in that area. So we're not going in blind, but yeah, I hear what y'all are saying. It's not always easy, and it's not, it'll be like Jazz's name. It'll be turbulent conversation sometimes. And that's okay too. So yes. So were you willing to continue, Trisana?
Sure. We are
And
starting.
choosing a common curriculum. And when you get to the clarity chart, are you willing to read it on the love side, Celia?
Yes.
Okay, it goes down into the next page, so just be aware of that. And then we'll take a break after this. We'll take like a 5-minute intermission after this clarity chart.
Did you want me to read the fear side?
Yes, please.
Okay. So choosing a common curriculum, is it dedicated to love? In choosing a curriculum thought system for your relationship, it is important to remember this. There are only two kinds of curriculum thought systems to choose from. One, a fear-based curriculum. Two, a love-centered curriculum. Here are some things to know about the curriculum or curricula. Curriculum criteria clarity chart. Distinguishing programmatic fear-based curriculum from love's curriculum. Remember, a curriculum is a thought system.
this is very important because then it'll allow you to distinguish between the stuff that's out there and available to us, like the 5 love languages and all that. Think like a man. Women are from Mars and men are from Saturn, and everybody else is from Uranus, that kind of stuff. And, you know, and it'll help you to be able to distinguish between that. So just pay careful attention to this chart. I'm going on mute. Please continue.
Do you want us to read each line together?
Yes, so you read one line, Celia reads one line, then you go to your next line, and then Celia goes to the next line.
Okay. Fear-based curriculum programs thought system, not based on universal principles.
Love's curriculum, Love's thought system, based entirely on universal principles.
Fear-based, based on conjecture, theory, and opinions, speculation, interpretations, feelings, and beliefs.
Love-based, based on truth, not open to interpretations, opinions, subjective analysis, personal feelings, or beliefs.
Fear-based, based on personal insight and experience, which is always very limited.
Love, based on an experience that is available to everyone equally.
Fear, based on form.
Love, based on content.
Fear conflates, combines form and content, does not outline, explain the difference.
Love clarifies form and content. A love-centered curriculum will clearly explain the relationship between form and content.
Yeah, that was part of that, Trisana, but it's okay. No, we're gonna just continue that. Everybody saw it.
Okay. Fear. Results vary. You will experience different results in different situations with different people at different times.
With love, results are consistent. You will derive or obtain the same result in every single situation, with every person, every single time.
Fear does not tell the truth about true love.
Love tells only truth about love.
Fear does not expose the program.
Love exposes the program in no uncertain terms.
Fear, confusing.
Love is clear.
Fear, inconsistent.
Love is consistent.
Fear, the program will always fail you.
Love will never fail you.
Okay. Thank you both for reading that. And let's think about that for a moment and come back and talk about it.
I'm going to go, try to understand where this is coming from and let go of it. But for right now, I can't talk to you. I'm going to go over here. And
right.
I'll be back. I might be back. I might.
Most times to me, it's been, I'm not coming back, and I'm not going to tell you that.
See that I think that's the part that would be good for me to work on too, because my girlfriends say I'm a garbage diver. I'll go get somebody out the garbage.
Oh gosh. Yeah, you should work on the ghosting then. Yeah. Those two go together then.
Ghosting and garbage.
That sounds like a good chapter, CalySol. I wrote a chapter on ghosting, but not on dumpster diving or garbage.
Dumpster diver.
Yeah.
Okay. So are we starting at the bottom of the chart?
Yeah, that's why I just changed my name. I'm gonna clean it up. The sanitation man now.
Get us out the garbage stuff.
All right. Oh yeah. So I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. So we looked at the curriculum, a difference between a fear-based and a love-based curriculum. And now, does anybody have any thoughts on that? Anything to say about it?
Oof.
Can we give an example of a program-based curriculum? I mean, we all have read and listened to teachers that have been on this side of it. And can we give it an example of this side,
Yeah.
Okay. What do you have, Jasana?
I think what stuck out to me is the based on opinions. Are we talking about this chart?
Yes, this is, yep.
A lot of moving. Okay, so that part, the based on conjecture, opinions, interpretations, and feelings. I think when you base any curriculum on your feelings, feelings change all the time. Not some of the time, not every now and then, all the time. So if you're basing something, it's almost like basing your house on sand. If it's always going to change, your house isn't going to be stable. So it's the same thing for a relationship. Like if you're basing it on something that works universally for everyone, which is love and the things that we're talking about, then you'll have a very solid foundation to build that relationship on.
Yeah. And I think even sand is a stretch because it's more like building it on water. Like you building your house on something that's always moving. Sand, it'll move like when you step in it or when the tide comes, but water is always, doing something. So yeah, you're right. You can't base something that you want to be consistent on something that changes, meaning feelings, beliefs, speculations, and opinions. So
Mhm.
yeah.
That makes good sense.
Yeah. And I just got to go back in again about, my man Gary Chapman with the 5 love languages. Somebody mentioned that to me today in a conversation about, oh yeah, this is so and so's love language and that's their other love language. That's why they can't get along because they got different love languages. And I'm like, his intention, his heart was in the right place with that. I appreciate giving us a framework. We as humans, we love structure, right? So when someone gives you a number, 5, and then they give you something, love languages. So now they're saying, okay, hey, miscommunication. I like what you did there. Miscommunication, y'all. Don't forget the pause between the miss and the communication. Not miscommunication, it's miscommunication. So thank you. Yeah. So once again, I love using the 5 love languages as a example because is love, form, or content?
Content.
Is the number 5 form or content?
Form.
You look like you're still thinking, Tristana. Let us know when you come up with a thought.
I'm like, I don't know why the number came up, but okay.
Because it's called 5 love languages.
Thanks for debunking my comfort zone on 5 love languages, Naeem.
I am the sanitation man. You're welcome.
The sanitation man. He done went in the dumpster and got the 5 love languages out.
That's right. And by the time I put it back in the dumpster, all the pages are going to be ripped up and used to heat the stove for you to cook the next meal on. So.
But that raises a question. Is there a problem with having a book on form?
What would love say to that question?
I don't know what love would say to that question. That's why I'm asking.
It means nothing.
What's the purpose of it?
What does form mean, Tristana?
I think that as long as we have the understanding, though, that the book is based on form, that it can still serve your benefit. Like that somebody's having a call for love, and their love language, and that you're not tap dancing to that love language. Then you're using 5 love languages in the service of love.
Hello, Optimus Prime. Welcome.
That's like the sanitation, man.
Good. I had to go get learn about some communication on my break. So what's up? How y'all doing?
What's going on?
Good. How you doing there, Muhammad?
What is that?
That ain't no do-rag. It's just like a surgeon's cap.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little interesting little thing.
Right.
What was I saying? Can you have the form without the purpose? I don't think so.
We were just talking about the 5 love languages, and then is it form or content? So once again, I asked, was love form or content? Everyone said content. Is the number 5 form or content? We said form. So a language, is a language form or content?
Form.
Okay. So we can agree that the curriculum of 5 love languages, let's look at it here, is not based on universal principles, is based on conjecture, theory, and speculation, interpretation, feelings, and beliefs, is based on the personal insight of the author and the experience, is based on form. It combines the idea of form and content because it just said 5 love languages, which is talking about form, content, form. And then it talks about the results clearly vary because I'm sure not everyone, some people who read it had great insight and healing in their relationships, and others have had the opposite. Then it does not tell the truth about love because there is no such thing as 5 love languages. It does not expose the program because it is activating the program by making you believe that there's a such thing as 5 love languages. That's confusing, that's inconsistent, and it will always fail you eventually. So that's the way that we can use that to see how that works when it comes to form and content. Let's see who joined. Go ahead.
Part of the reason I said, what is the purpose, is that the way that it's structured is to talk about separating people out in terms of their expectations and their assumptions about. That's sort of what it's based on, pretty much. You know, what is it that I expect you to give to me? What is it that I perceive that I need, right? And how are you either fulfilling that need and satisfying that need or not? So because the purpose in many ways then is not so much about joining, but separating people out into different categories, it then contradicts any sense of oneness, which is what love is. So that's why I said, what is the purpose of it?
Absolutely. And right now, based on our conversation and our purpose as partners joining in healing and growth and learning together, we're using this book as the form of this and that message for the purpose of getting more clarity about communication. Correct? Are we together in that?
Yes.
Is that so again, I sound like I'm trashing the 5 love languages, but I started by saying I appreciate the author and his work and his intention for writing it, because we all grow as people. Even in Love Is Not a Game, there's some things I read in there, I'm like, I would have phrased that differently for more clarity, because I have a little more insight now in my later years. So it's
Later.
He's an elder now, you know.
He was trying to hold.
Y'all are funny. So yes.
All right,
So yeah. What happened, Optimus Prime?
Oh, nothing. I just said Guru Naeem.
Oh, okay. I thought you was calling my name. All right. Yes.
No, he's the elder of sanitation.
Yeah, I turned into the sanitation man because CalySol likes jumping into the garbage cans and the dumpsters, and I had to pull things out.
Sounds so terrible.
That was pre-purpose CalySol. That was CalySol like 5 whole minutes ago, before you came, Optimus Prime. This is the new CalySol. Only love, only clean, hands washed for 30 seconds at that. Relationships. They got masks, gloves, PPE. She's getting them straight out of the manufacturing plant. All right. So that's what we talking about. Can y'all hear me clearly, or is my connection lagging? I just want to check.
Something.
I got all my protection, baby.
Oh, wow.
Wowza.
So see right here, Optimus Prime showed up and transformed on you. Look at that.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
You got the whole face mask from the, like you going into battle. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what he wears when he's avoiding communication.
Wait a minute.
I don't know if you know, but Nazram is here in the building, so you got to be careful with her. Be careful with this one. She's not, she's not the halal anymore. Okay? She does not follow the rules.
No. After iftar, I'm no longer a rule follower.
I'm glad we're clear on that. So, shall we continue?
Yes, but who was reading? Who was it again? Was it me?
I thought it was Sana.
Yeah.
Was it? Oh,
I think she had finished.
I thought I did too, but I don't think I read under the chart.
Right. It was you and Celia on the chart. So if you will finish this page, then please continue.
Okay. Now you have the criteria for choosing a curriculum. Are you aware of any manual that contains a curriculum in alignment with everything on Love's side of the chart? Also being a manual that contains nothing on the program side of the chart. We do know of a manual that comes highly recommended. It is called Love is Not a Game, a manual for love and relationships. It is available, it is accessible, it is applicable. If a manual of equal caliber comes to mind, we will let you know later. Do that with a straight face. Invitation.
What's so funny though? What's so funny?
Let me finish. I'll tell you in a second. So anyways, invitation. You are cordially invited to consider what it would be like to live a life of absolute purpose all the time.
Okay, thank you.
So the funny part to me was that you mentioned that nobody else actually says it the way you do or the way you're expressing it, basically. But I don't know. I just had a little joke in my head. I was like, toot, toot. I just feel like there needs to be a horn right there or something. I don't know. But you're right. You're absolutely right. There is not really any other book that does that. Not that I've read.
I would just say A Course in Miracles. That's where I got this from. But again, that's yeah. Course in Miracles it doesn't go straight into love, trust, and communication as we are. It's talking even more universal sense of things, and you have to be able to understand the language of A Course in Miracles in order to really benefit from it. So it does take study and practice, and it helps to have someone who has already studied and practiced to study and practice with you, because it's a great curriculum. I must say, I recommend it very highly. Now, but the other thing is, not every form of curriculum is for every person. So I know that A Course in Miracles is not for everyone. So I wanted to make the message of A Course in Miracles more accessible. So therefore, Love is Not a Game was born out of that desire. Because not everybody's going to get A Course in Miracles. But if you can get Love is Not a Game, you will also have gotten A Course in Miracles without having to go through the 500,000 words that it contains.
Why would you not get the Course in Miracles?
If you don't get the Course in Miracles, doesn't mean you're not. I'm not saying a blanket statement. I'm saying if you don't, because it's not for everybody, absolutely not for everybody. And Love is Not a Game is a little more accessible in my thinking than A Course in Miracles.
It took me about 5 years to be able to process, to properly hear A Course in Miracles. So I turned away from it for some years before I actually said yes. So I agree with you about, the wording in the Course in Miracles and having somebody else study with you. Did you find that the Way of Mastery was more comprehensible than the Course in Miracles?
Personally, yes. Also, Course of Love I also found as well. I found that it was more relatable, but I got into the Way of Mastery after the course, so if you introduced them to me at the same time, I believe I'd be like, okay, a Way of Mastery is a little easier to get into. But I got into it after the course, so I can only speculate. Yeah.
Same here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But if I were going to recommend it to someone, I would always recommend the course, just because that's, it's where my heart is and my head. But I would also recommend Way of Mastery, and based on who I'm talking to. Because if I see someone's a dedicated student, I'm like, just go with the Course in Miracles. You got it. But if you just want to dibble dabble and, dumpster dive, then go ahead with the.
There you go.
It went with the D's, though. I like your fan.
Me too. Thank you.
So yeah. Okay. So we finished. So are you prepared to read, CalySol?
Yes.
Okay, so we are on this part. So we said you are cordially invited to consider what it would be like to live a life of absolute purpose all the time.
Don't you love being on purpose?
Yes.
Thinking, yes. Thinking and moving with purpose is the most powerful feeling and experience in the world. How about when you're not on purpose? Think about it. How does it feel when you are not on purpose? I feel anxious, fearful, angry, disappointed, let down, abused,
Misused.
misused. That's what I was looking for. Been lied on, cheated,
Hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
Hoodwinked. Yes. When you're not living on your purpose, think about it. You feel lifeless. You feel weak. You feel distracted. You do not feel right.
Can I get an amen?
Yes,
Hey,
yes, Nazra.
Very spirit filled.
What do you say? So what do you say when you do something that wasn't on purpose? I didn't do that on purpose. It was a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You are not a mistake, and you are not mistaken. You are perfect, and you are innocent.
Thank
Be
you.
purposeful.
I want to hear that again. Can you say that again, Minister? Thank you.
You are perfect, and you are innocent. So let's be purposeful. So let's be purposeful. When you know your purpose, everything you do will be on purpose. Everything you say will be on purpose. Everything you experience will be on purpose.
And just to jump in and say, that's what you said, your purpose to be in the vibration of love with everything. So there you go, CalySol.
That's it right there. That's it right there. Most importantly, everything you think will be on purpose, which means you're going to have to always take responsibility for what you create if you think on purpose. Message. I'll say about that. The purpose of love, the purpose of being happy and totally fulfilled. Everything you think will be on purpose. So let's be on purpose. To review, you ask this question for anything that occurs. Is the way I'm seeing this foolishness in front of me, this foolish man? No. Is the way I'm seeing this relationship helpful and supportive of my happiness?
Can we all go through this one time with our own form? So Nazram, can you go ahead and say this sentence and put in any haram form that you like?
Is the way I'm seeing this I don't know, there's so many. Is the way I'm seeing this, I guess, miscommunication helpful and supportive of my happiness?
Okay. Celia, will you go for one?
Sure. Is the way I'm seeing this connection helpful and supportive of my happiness?
Thank you. Tristana, can you give us one example?
Okay. Is the way I'm seeing is the way I'm seeing this conversation helpful and supportive of my happiness?
Thank you. And miscommunication, I think Nas was talking about you earlier. She was like slightly like, she's like, the way I'm seeing this miscommunication, I think it was a poke at you. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But anyway, you got anything to say?
I don't hear anything.
I have one.
Your headphones.
Is the way
Okay.
I'm seeing this quarantine helpful and supportive of my happiness?
We can all relate to that. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
The answer to that is yes, because we're choosing to join and do our work.
How about that? Thank you. We could hear you now, miscommunication.
Isn't that a shame? You can't even hear miscommunication.
Well played.
Stars.
Is the way I'm seeing this interaction helpful and supportive of my happiness?
And Blue, do you want to share one if you're able to? I don't know if we're able to hear you right now. Yeah, we're not hearing you, Blue.
I'm just listening.
Okay, you're just listening. We got it. Got it. All right. So, program's still messing with you. I don't receive it. Is the way I am seeing this food helpful and supportive of my happiness? So, please continue with the examples, CalySol, even though we all just gave one. Please continue. You are on mute.
Thank you. Is the way I'm seeing this text message supportive of my purpose or happiness? Is the way I'm seeing this relationship to supporting? Oh, is the way I'm seeing this relationship supporting my happiness? Is the way I'm seeing this conversation supporting my purpose? If the answer is yes, then you are on purpose. You are using that form in the service of love. If the answer is no, then you are not living on purpose. You are not using that form in the service of love, and you know what you need to do. You need to stop. Just stop. Setting the goal in your life by deciding your purpose in life is the most important thing you will do. By doing so, everything in your life will be used in the service of love, meaning in the service of you. In any situation in which you are uncertain, remember the question, what is my purpose in life? And remember love's answer. My purpose in life is to be happy. My purpose in life is to be totally fulfilled. And yes, the question, am I seeing this gathering in a way that is helpful to my happiness? How do you expect to be in full, meaningful communication with anyone if you will not be in full, meaningful communication with yourself? Has reading this chapter been supportive of your purpose in life? Absolutely.
Anyone else? Has that been helpful to your happiness and total fulfillment?
Yes.
Yes, baby.
Yes, thank you.
All right, I will continue. You're welcome with the last page. I believe it's the last page. Are you happy? Be honest. Communicate with yourself because communication is not a game. Oh, by the way, we have another curriculum suggestion for you. There's an awesome manual available that goes by the same name. Communication is not a game. You might want to check it out. All right. And that's chapter 2. Yeah. So that was a great read, everybody. Thank you.
Yay.
Give it up for yourself. That was great. So do we have any thoughts, insights, takeaways, giveaways? Thank you, Blue. I see it. I saw your hands come up. So, Tristana, anything you'd like to share?
Do I want to share something? Yes. So I think it was helpful, but I think maybe I'm pausing on this because I'm doing it myself, but sometimes when you're, I guess, in the process of deprogramming, which is why I mentioned it earlier, you're not exactly sure what your next step should be to be on the other side of that. So like the whole opinion belief thing, like I mentioned before, and going through your own process of going from someone who has been living with the program, not realizing it, and then realizing that there's some other way to be. How do you process those things and growing and evolving and not feel or appear to be someone who's holding it in when you're just trying to process? Does that make sense?
That makes sense. And anyone want to respond? I have a response. First thing you do when you're going from not knowing and realizing you're with the program is to choose a curriculum and let that do all the heavy lifting, the thinking for you. Because if you're still like, okay, I see the program now, let me figure out how to deal with the program alone, you're back in the program. The reason for a curriculum is to submit to something, a thought system greater than the thought system that you were originally using, which is the program's thought system. That's the whole point of it. If before I didn't know where I was going, so I would just go wherever I felt was right. Sometimes it ended me in a situation where it was great. Sometimes it was a situation that was miserable. Now my curriculum is saying, don't go that way. But but I always used to go that way. Why, maybe I should. No, you don't have to think about it. Just don't go that way. If the curriculum is saying don't go that way, just don't go that way. And the curriculum is telling you that it's okay to be in a place where you don't know where the next step is, because maybe that's the place you need to be in. Maybe you need to be okay with not knowing and to allow an answer to come to you in peace, in ease, in however form it may come, a dream, a conversation, a passing song. My whole introduction to A Course in Miracles happened in passing while I was listening to a Channel 13 special on the power of intention by Wayne Dyer while I was washing the dishes. And that started the path that got me to this place. It wasn't no deep meditation. It wasn't no teacher that I paid to go and see and listen to. I was washing dishes in the restaurant, and the TV was on, and he said, and I remember, he said it one time and I remembered it because it spoke to me. If you knew who walked beside you at all times on this path that you have chosen, you would never experience fear or doubt again. I stopped what I was doing and I say, what the fuck was that? Can somebody rewind? But it didn't rewind because it was on live TV. So I rewinded it in my mind and I remembered it, and I never even wrote it down. And I remembered it, and I remember he said A Course in Miracles, and I went searching for that shit. And I found it in that same month. A friend of mine came from the Netherlands with a book about the Course in Miracles and gave it to me. And that started me on my path. So, and I started my first Course in Miracles group in New York, in the same restaurant. And Celia was a part of it. Thank you for being a part. And in that group, I heard about Earl Purdy from a white man named Kevin. And I looked up his channel. And I went out to Denver no less than 4 to 5 times a year. And in Denver, I met Blue, and I met CalySol, and I met Lisa, and I met Demola. And from those relationships and that desire to want to know what the truth about love is, I started writing my book in December 24th, 2015, at the table by the window in Indianapolis, Indiana, at my late uncle Layla Africa's house. And there I started writing the book. And after 3 days, I realized that this book is going to be about 4 or 5 books. And that's where this book was born out of. The second day I was writing that book, the chapter on communication and honesty came, which we're not even at that chapter yet, almost 5 years ago. I didn't know what the next step was, but I was open, and something will speak to you and tell you where to go. Just have to be open to it and not open to your own mind, your own thoughts about it, because there's no easy way to say this. They will be wrong. If they're not right all the time, you have to accept that they will be wrong, meaning they're not going to bring you to where your greatest potential and your greatest gifts in life lie. You need a thought system that you didn't create. You need a thought system that is directly connected to you, and you need a thought system that is 100% of love, of God, period. And if it's not 100% of God, it's 100% of the devil. It can't be 99% love. It's unacceptable. Anybody here in any other aspect of your life would not debate with me. I said, yeah, I have this, you want a babysitter? Yeah, I know someone who's great. They watch babies, like out of the 100 babies that they watched, only one of them died. So I have a great babysitter I recommend to you. And you'd be like, wait,
Nah,
one of them what? Oh yeah, they killed one of the babies, but the other 99, they were fine, perfect health, everything. So nobody doubts when I say it like that. When I say a curriculum that's 1% of fear, it's 100% of fear, 100% of the ego, 100% of the devil, and you cannot accept it. If you care about yourself and you care about love, you have to take a stand. And you have to take a stand against your own programming. I mean, you have to take a stand against your own goddamn thoughts, Naeem, because it's not going to serve you when it counts. You're going to get triggered and you're going to resort back to your old programming, which is going to hurt you, period. And there's no debate on that. It's not an opinion. It's not a belief. That's the truth. You don't have to accept it, believe it, or welcome it, but it would serve you if you did accept it, believe it, and welcome it, Naeem. So with that said, I'm dropping the mic and we can come right back in 20 seconds. Thank you for listening. All right, I think we're back.
Mhm.
Let's see, I gotta make sure I get Jazz's name. Okay, miscommunication is back, okay.
No space this time.
There's no space in there, so, kind of see what you're communicating here, miscommunication. I don't know how to pronounce the second S without it sounding like miscommunication, so. But once again, I think Nas, had a problem with you. Anyway.
Oh my God. Starting beef.
I'll see her at 3:00 tomorrow.
Meet me by the flagpole.
Okay. Hello.
Oh, gotta watch out though,
Flagpole.
because during 3:00 in the daytime, she's Nas Lao. 3:00 in the night, she's Nas Ram. So which one of these ones you want to meet? You gotta be careful, after the sundown, after the fast is broken.
She chose the good one.
Oh, okay, she chose to go. All right, I guess y'all are gonna have some communication then. All right,
Yeah.
that's no fun. But yes, did that answer your question, Jasana?
Partially.
Okay. Anyone else have something they want to share or add or respond or anything to our reading or to anyone else? Because we're all partners together in this.
I would just say never ending. So it's, all of it is a process in terms of the beliefs and all of that. And just to be gentle with yourself as you're learning and figuring out more about yourself and other people and your relationships. And just know you're good, Just remind yourself that no matter what it is, that you're good. Otherwise, people say, you're innocent, right? That's the. But yeah, I think the most important thing is to be gentle with yourself in everything, and especially and in everything, including relationships.
Even when you are the haram?
Yes, even then.
Okay.
In all states of being, haram, halal, all of it.
All right. Nazram, do you have something to say to that?
I think that, this was a good chapter, and it's important to talk about purpose in your relationship. I think that's very important. But I feel like in reality, I guess in any relationship, it's easier said than done. It's when it comes down to it, we're just so fearful, and we all have our insecurities, and we're all afraid to say what's on our mind. For whatever reason, I guess we're afraid to know the truth, or we're afraid to lose this person. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to be like, oh, if it's, if that person is not meant to be, it's good, because you're wasting your time and you're more important than anything else. But I don't know. In reality, I just feel like we just have such a fear. It's so easy. I'm all about communication. I'm like, to me, without communication, there's nothing, so I'm all about expressing feelings. But I just feel like, I don't know, our, I guess, heart gets in the way. That's all I have to say.
You thought I was going to say that, Nazram, but I was really going to say is you throw them in the trash, in the sanitation, and the sanitation man will get them and clean them up and get the Purell and the handy wipes and the Clorox and the bleach, and he will give them back to you fresh and new and clean and halal. That's what I was.
Okay.
CalySol, you have anything to share?
You might have embarrassed me enough for me to not dumpster diving no more. I don't know yet, okay? I'm still thinking about it.
It's a good program voice. Thank you.
Yep. No, you weren't on earlier, Naeem, but you came in on the end of that ghosting conversation. And the ghosting leads to me dumpster diving. I see the relation, and like I was telling Drisana, I'm learning how to communicate. I'm learning how to use my words instead of just ghosting. I'm learning how to, speak on why I want to ghost in the moment, and letting that person know, like, oh, you know what, I just feel triggered, and instead of ghosting you, I'm just telling you, and I don't want to talk to you right now, and I don't know if I want to again, dumpster dive, or just, let it go. But I feel like that's a good step. That's a good stepping stone for me, is to at least learn how to communicate instead of just the programmatic. Because I can say when I ghost with the intent of proving a point and teaching you a lesson. And that's why I end up with the lesson of me feet up in the trash can, because it's like, wait, no, I'm sorry. And that doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel good. So it feels good to communicate in an effective way.
Thank you. Yes. And I look forward to us getting to that chapter on ghosting, so we can look at another way, have another way of looking at it, and do some exercises that'll help challenge our comfort zone around it, because this is not supposed to be comfortable, y'all. It's not supposed to be, it's supposed to be easy, because the loving right mind of you is the part of you that clicks the link and joins. But the other part of you is like, no, I have to watch the second season of Game of Thrones, which I already watched 10 times, but I got to watch it again because I might have missed something. Instead of coming on here and doing this, so I applaud the part of you that clicks the link and joins, because my policy is if there's one person that wants to read with me, that's everything. Because all you need is how many partners? There's one. How many can you have? Unlimited. Right? So so that's my goal. And even if no one joined, I would still read, and I would just go back and read again with people when they're available and willing. But the commitment to finish this book is my own, and the commitment to join me is your own. So that I appreciate, and I do is not lost on me. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Miscommunication. Did I say that correctly this time?
It's just miscommunication. You got to say it. That's the only way.
Okay, got it. Miscommunication.
Like an Italian, you just breeze through miscommunication.
Miscommunication. I understand. Bonjour.
It's not Italian unless you have the risk.
Exactly. It's like Governor Cuomo says, "Get your ass back in the house." Yeah. So, anything to share?
I specifically loved the deep dive into the definitions of terms, because yes, we knew what form and content were. Yes, we understood what a relationship is, but that further breaking it down was extremely helpful and a great takeaway from tonight's reading.
Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate that, because as well as that, and if you don't have the PDF, just email me, text me, let me know. I'll send it to you. But as well as that, I want to share this with you. Let's see. At the end of the book, I'm going to try to go to the last page. There is a glossary of terms, of all the terms used in here. You can use it at any time you have an issue, not an issue, a tissue, miscommunication about a word. So for example, let me just briefly show you how this works. Wait, is this it? Is this the glossary? So why not take this time to introduce you to it? So let's introduce you to this glossary. You may ask, why do I need an introduction to a glossary? Because this is not a common glossary. If this glossary is going to be helpful, you need to know how it works. So what's the purpose? Once again, glossary is form or content, y'all. Someone said form. What do you say, Drasana?
I haven't figured it out.
All right. Just keep listening. It'll figure itself out for you. And that's what the glossary is for. So this is not a common glossary. If it's going to be helpful, you need to know how it works. And the purpose, again, the purpose for the form, because the glossary is form, is to clearly define the words used in this manual. So why are we defining these words? We are defining these words because because this manual uses its own language. And although you may be familiar with the words contained in this manual, you are not familiar with the meanings this manual gives to those words. So like you were saying, miscommunication, going deeper into the meanings is what this is for, what the whole definition time, the whole chart is for. Therefore, you need to know how this manual defines the words if it's going to be helpful to you. So how does this manual define words? Two kinds of words, form or content. So this manual classifies words as either referring to form or referring to content. Reread chapter 1 for an overview on form or content. So again, the word can only refer to form or content. So form, if a word is referring to form, you will see this symbol next to it, the F, the lowercase f in the parentheses. Then it will be defined. And remember this, form principle. Form is meaningless. You give form all the meaning it has to you. Content, as you know, there are only two kinds of content, love and fear. Communication and miscommunication. If a word is referring to content, it will be given one of these three symbols. So you got the C, regular C in the parentheses, which is the content of love and fear. You got the minus or negative C, which is the content of fear, and the plus C, which is the content of love. It's the shorthand to show you whether it's love or fear or both, right? So content principle. Expressions of content, if expressions of content is equivalent. All content of love is equal to love. All content of fear is equal to fear. Use the following clarity chart as reference when you come across a content word. So here you go. So this is the reference again, back to form and content. So all the words under fear mean fear, under all the words under love mean love. So we got disrespect. What does that mean? Negative C, fear. We got innocence. What does that mean? Positive C, love. All the same. No, as a general rule, words that refer to love's content will be capitalized in this manual, regardless of their position in the sentence. Now that you have this basic introduction, let's proceed with the actual glossary. So somebody shout out a word that you might have read in this manual or that you might think goes with communication.
Purpose.
Purpose. All right, let's see if we got purpose up in here. Let's get down to P. A, B, C, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. All right, we don't have purpose in here, but purpose would be the word referring to content, because a purpose is all about setting the purpose for content, not form. So any other word? That was a good word, though. I should put it in here. Let me put a note.
Goal.
It's another one. Let me see. Put. All right. So you said goal. Goal might not be in here anyway. So either. So somebody bring out another word, please.
Ghost.
Ghost. All right. Let's do that.
And it just happens we're already on that word.
All right. So here we go. Ghost. Ghosting is what? What does it say here?
Or
Ghost, ghosted. There's the variations of it. So ghosting is form. Ghosting is not content. What's the definition? Ghosting is radio silence and physical absence from a person or people without notice. That's what it is. So examples of ghosting include you block someone's number from calling your phone. Someone texts you, you see the call, text, you don't respond. You go on vacation for a few days and you decide not to contact anyone while you are away. Those are examples of ghosting. So that's how this manual defines ghosting. So anyway, I thank you for bringing up that point, miscommunication, and you can use the glossary to look into more words that are in this manual. So I just want to add that.
That's great. I appreciate the specificity in the glossary. It's all good.
Thank you for the other suggestions. I'll add them at some point when I get back into this. You know, it's my goal to rewrite this manual in like 200 or 300 pages or less. I want to challenge myself to do that. I know I can. I'm like, how do I compile all of this into? It doesn't matter. I'll figure it out. But yes,
You'll do it.
how many pages is it now?
798 without a index. I mean, what's it called in the beginning? The thing.
Table of contents.
Yeah, that. Without that. So with that, it'll probably be like 820. So yeah. And this is not even, these are 8.5 by 11 pages, not even the smaller pages. So it's like a textbook. So if I made it any smaller, it'd be over 1,000 pages. So yeah. All needed, every word, every letter. So with that said, thank you for joining everyone. CalySol, Miscommunication, Celia, Drasana, Nas, Blue Sky, and Optimus Prime, who was in here earlier with his PPE. Until next time, this has been another wonderful session of Love 101 Media. Blue is waving, and we join in conversations for love and healthy relationships. This is our Communication is Not a Game series. Until next time.
I love you. This so hard.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Is weak for you.
Thank you.
I love you. Yes, I do.
We did it.
Yes, I do.
We were moving right along, and I think the discussions and the commentary and the talk about it was all exactly as it should have been. Like I strive not to structure this in terms of, okay, everybody gets 2 minutes, we stop at this point, because it doesn't feel like a conversation that I would have with you all if it wasn't online. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about the publicity of it. I care about the moment that we're in. That's why I'm like 12 videos behind on the editing, because I edit when I get a chance to, which is usually right after this. And it takes me hours. Like, every video I edit takes the minimum of 6 hours. So with that, you know, it'll get out when it gets out, but it's more important that that we have these gatherings and this session in person as in person as we can get. To me, anyway. So.
I was just saying, this is fun. This is love. This is loving. I love it.
Oh,
And I love you, and I love you all. Thank you for deciding to partner today in this, even though we have been doing that without, unofficially. Today we officially have joined as partners as per the curriculum. So conversation makes all the difference.
Oh, we set the goal?
I think so.
Hey, that wasn't that bad.
Yes.
Watch out, she may ghost us.
Oh,
You never
shoot.
know. Watch out.
We got to roll out there, Nazram, and get her.
Before she ghosts us all.
She just ghosted us right just now. But you know what? You got to give her credit because she ghosted us for like 5 seconds, and it wasn't like 5 years. So I say, progress, not perfection, people.
Right, baby steps.
Gotta get my time down first. Gotta get my time down. Then get to the point where I don't do it at all. Baby step.
Yes.
Progress.
Proud of you.
Darling, it's